It isn't possible to actually give up on yourself. So whatever your challenge, remember, you're going to keep getting back up. Just like Krishna said, you may not want to fight this battle, but this battle will be fought through you. So maybe you want to ask yourself, what is it that's causing the conflict during this awakening? What is at war within myself? What is trying to live through me? And what is trying to die? Because of me, through me, within me, for me? What's going on inside is all we really need to figure out. And like I said, it's about slowing down, letting everything settle, getting ourselves clear enough to make an assessment of what might be going on so that we stop fighting the wrong wars. And when I say war, it's because we go at war with life. We battle, we fight, or we shut down. But we have more than just two choices, and that shutting down may not look like shutting down. Everyone has their own version of giving up on themselves. What's your version is what you need to ask yourself when things come to a head and you don't know what else to do, because there are different voices within us that want different things. And our job is to be the diplomat that brings everyone together into a happy, cohesive harmony. But that takes skill, and that takes practice. And the fact is, you cannot and will not give up on yourself as long as you're breathing. And when it feels like you have, you're only acting out. You're acting out as if that's a way to get out of what must be confronted on the spiritual path, meaning a path of growth and evolution in this lifetime. Those on a path of evolution and growth are going to feel the friction. Feeling the friction is what makes us wake up. Feeling the friction is not a bad thing just because everything doesn't turn out the way we think it should, the way we want it. Because the truth is, we found ourselves here with a desire to grow. And growth means that we are going to move beyond what we thought how things needed to be, or how we were going to make them, or who we needed to be. Growth is about an unknown expansion into unknown territory. And finding the trust to be able to do that on a deep physical level isn't easy, because we have that reptilian mind that fights for us to be here. And who is that us it's fighting for? It is the mask we wear. It is the person our life has made us. It is what we brought with us from past lives. A collection of memories, abilities, habits, both good and bad, impressions that have made their grooves into this energy force that then inhabits a body and tries to work it out and transmute and blend and come into a harmony with what was created from the beginning, which was energy moving in different directions. And that energy moving in different directions and that friction makes the beauty that we see, but it also makes the destruction that we see. So when we take that within ourselves, all the destruction, all the things we don't find attractive or pleasing or comfortable, and we find a way to view it and approach it, we can then create beauty. We make ourselves the living embodiment of the beauty, of the harmony that is possible through the frictional connections of God. Because they're touching, but they're still moving in different ways. And that's how art is created. Because we can agree to disagree, but we can come together in a beautiful display of harmony. This is what romance is. This is what enchantment is that we aren't the same, but we must be together. We aren't the same, but we seek union. This goes on inside of ourselves. This is what yoga is. This is what relationships are for. This is what other people are for, or situations that rub us the wrong way. This isn't me, this isn't what I want, this isn't who I am. But can you make it work? Can you make it better than it was when you were just alone? Or before you knew you had that quality that you didn't want? Now that you know, now that that light has shined on places inside of you, and showing you parts of yourself that you don't want. Now that you're having problems in your relationship, can you make it better than it was because of the friction, not in spite of the friction? And when you do that, you find a way to master your life, to become stronger, to climb higher, pulling the darkness with you into the light, because the darkness and the light are not separate. And most of our power and much of our abilities are buried in the darkness. And what is the darkness? It's ignorant. It's what we're pushing down. It's what we are disowning. It's been happening long before we were born. We've been doing it in past lives. Our ancestors have been doing it. Humanity has been doing it because we live unnatural lives because of religion. Religion has made us doubt ourselves, question ourselves, and shut ourselves down so that we could be closer to divinity when it has only taken us further. Religion has taught us that we cannot trust ourselves. And while it tried to give us a way forward from this fear of death or this fear of our mortality, basically, it only closed us in a box because men were behind it and greed was behind it. And the desire to control the masses was behind it. But what more could you expect in this world of duality? While we can extract the essence from things we appreciate from different religious paths, in the end, in order to truly rise above and liberate our consciousness, we must step out of every box that someone else put us in, our family put us in, or we ourselves fell into with the best intention. At a certain point, the crutches must go. The hiding must go. The obeying other people's rules for us must go. Do we need spiritual teachers? They're very helpful to help us see ourselves. But do we give our power away? Do we sign up for their program? I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend basking in your own light and finding the support, if you can, from others who make that more possible for you, who give you a greater feeling of connection and support and understanding and a way to express yourselves when maybe in other parts of your life you couldn't. Because we do need to get it out, and we can't be bottled up, and we can't be isolated. There is a time for everything. And this is how it works. There is a time for the darkness and a time for the light. There is a time for relaxing and there's a time for getting up and getting the job done. The mastery is feeling and tuning into ourselves and knowing where we are at, but with honesty and not with our mind, but with the feelings in our body and the way that the Mother Divine guides us forward. Because like I said, we have ideas about what we must have, what we must get, but why we're chasing that might not be in our best interest. Because generally speaking, most of our behavior is survival oriented, however sophisticated we disguise that. And when we are coming from a place of surviving or making sure we stay somebody or become somebody, that's different than liberating ourselves from fear. That's actually investing in the fear. That's actually investing in the belief that we are not enough until this thing happens, or until this thing changes, or until they tell me, or they validate me, or I can make my side of the story true in their eyes. I can convince, I can debate. There's nothing to defend. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to have but what you have in this moment. And to trust that the forces of light and the Divine Mother in each and every one of our bodies is moving us toward who we are to be. We will become who we are to be. We cause problems for ourselves when we fight the way it is. And maybe we grew up having to fight, and I know how that is. However, skillful means is a time of composure, a time of knowing who you are. And if you know who you are without moving a muscle, this world around you also will know. But as long as you doubt, means you really don't know, then the world won't spin around you. You'll keep chasing. Just like Muhammad said, I will not move, but the mountain will come to me. Sit in your spot and make this world around you spin. Become the light of your own life, the sun of your own solar system. Become the one for yourself, not to prove anything, but to be at peace and to live the truth that you were born to live, is that we are the one. However cliche this may sound, we are the one we are looking for. We are the one we want to love. We are the one we want to love. And how much you can love someone else selflessly with compassion is how much you can love yourself. How much can you forgive and let go? How much empathy and understanding can you have for the pain of someone else is how much you can have for yourself. And all of this takes such great strength because the approach must be so soft and so subtle. And to get that subtle and that soft and that refined and attuned to the quiet truth between us all, we must refine our lives. So look around you. What's going on in the room that you're in right now? What's going on in your kitchen sink? What's going on in your bathroom? Make everything you see around you, whatever meager circumstances you may be in, make it pure, sattvic. Make it clean, make it orderly, make it beautiful and pleasant for you to be in, so that you can prove to you that you are valuable, that you matter, that you are worth this thing that you're up against, which is consciousness, which is awakening. Because if you don't treat yourself in a way that proves to yourself deep inside that you deserve it, it won't happen. This is communication. This is the language that we really speak. Not the words out of my mouth, but my behavior, how I treat myself, how I treat others. I can talk all day, but what do we do? How do we live? We don't need a title. It's how we do what we do that makes us the king or the queen. Not that we sit in some castle and everyone thinks we're the king or the queen, but how we live in our own lives that gives us the divinity and the royalty and the magnificence of the tiger that lives in the jungle that nobody ever saw its beauty, but God knew it was there. And it knew it was God because it stayed in the moment and it took what it had and it kept the fire alive. Your fire is love. Your fire is devotion. Create from the space in between, where the thoughts and the words don't matter anymore, but where love shines and makes every moment brighter because you are in it.